I said it's African spirit lives inside me every day. God never love from the soul to the streets. Every day we on the 16, chase the pay, but ain't nobody gonna tell us what we do. They go hate. African spirit lives inside me. Unplugged from the street, unplugged to my ancestors. African spirit that's inside me. You threw all my days, African spirit lives inside me. Fuck, right? An African spirit lives inside me. I say this African spirit lives inside me. This African spirit lives inside me. I look to the stars. I speak to my forefathers. How they send a message to me.
Işte table like it's I was the table and I pulled the table and was closing now. And you know,
That's what I said.
So we've been shooting a docu called Who Am I? Youth of 2020. It was supposed to be dropped Youth Month, but since we're the youth, you know, we love to do this shit. This shit is every day for us. So now I want us to have like a mini conversation, you know? So I'm gonna read a statement, and then just say whatever you want about that statement. You know, you can disagree, you can agree. Yes. Okay, guys. So can we start?
Yeah.
Okay. So who am I? Youth of 2020. Conversations with the youth. The current youth of South Africa compared to the youth of 1976 is known for more bad deeds than good deeds. They are labeled as wild, careless, reckless, ignorant, overprivileged, lazy, visionless, lost, and much more. But is this all there is to them?
For now, we came up with these things about us.
I came up with these things about us.
Lost and etc.
Society came up with these things about us.
How old is society?
Who is society?
Who is society? Okay, I personally consider society is everybody, you know. But then in society there's power play, you know. Right now the power lies with the adults, you know. At least they like that, you know, age. So they came up with those labels.
So
I mean, just to add on that, you know, with the power lying with the adults and all of that,
guys gotta say
don't
something.
understand the struggles that we go through now. So they only see the bad, but then the struggles that we face now, and like the world has changed so much from 1976 that
That's a fine.
What are some of those struggles?
I mean, for example, 1976 was during apartheid, and I mean, as a black person, especially with black people, you couldn't do certain things. You didn't have certain freedoms. You know, we didn't have the same freedoms that we have now. You know, in as much as they might choose to focus on the negative, but then we've made a lot of progress. So, for example, we're able to go to school with white people. We're able to have relationships. We're able to have normal conversations and just engage every day with them, you know. But I think when it comes to issues such as racism, in as much as we still have a long way to go, but then we've really come
zooming
with some power.
But most of the old folks say that we don't appreciate all of that.
I think it's their own fault.
We don't appreciate the fact that we're with the white kids and universities and we can do what we're doing now. Do you guys agree with that?
No, I feel like we could also say they didn't appreciate what they got, but you know, that's based off of from who they are. Because you can look at it like, and when these people went to school with like, you know, Bantu education and they were taught Afrikaans, I could come here and say, nah, I'm paid to like, these people actually had like a privilege of learning an extra language, and they didn't see that. They weren't grateful for that. Probably their parents were telling them the same thing. You know? So I say they think we don't have a vision. It's just that our visions don't just like, we have a vision, but my vision and my parents' vision might not necessarily be the same thing.
It doesn't correlate with what they believe in.
It's that generational gap.
It's that generation. They don't
generational gap. Can you guys please explain generational gap?
Generational gap. It's like these people's mentality. Some of these people grow up in apartheid, for example. So certain things are just the way they are. When they were, they still like could for like, you know, interacting with white people. You should check like old people when they interact with white people. It's like they talking to like, you know, the greatest people on the planet.
The boss.
Like boss. Man, you come man. White people are just people, true.
Coming to another point, it's that when it comes to our youth, it's more like we respect our parents a little bit differently to what they did, since they are kinda more tougher on us than their parents were on them. So in a way, we are lazy, just that they don't allow us to be free and explore the possibilities that we can achieve.
It's like
so the problem is that they don't give us freedom of expression.
There's a disconnect.
Don't you guys feel like most of the youth, like our generation, the current youth, don't you feel like we abuse freedom of expression? That's why our parents are so...
What is abuse?
Bro, I feel like we're just money orientated, bro.
We are?
Like we're just chasing that money.
We are money orientated.
But what is abuse? What do you mean by abuse?
Don't you feel like we overdo it? You know that whole too much of a good thing is a bad thing concept? Yeah.
Do you know where I think that comes from? And by the point I'm about to make, it's going to disagree slightly with what Uspa just said now. I feel like with our generation, we really had it better than our parents, you know, compared to when they were still the youth. Because parents back then did not take shit. Like this was when corporal punishment was still a thing, even in high school. And even your neighbor, if your neighbor saw you do something wrong, they could simply just, you know, do quick things to you on the streets. So now they grew up under that and they faced a lot of struggles. And by the time they had kids, they on that type of food. Nah, man, I don't want my kids to experience the struggles that I experienced when I was still growing up. You know? So then they started giving us more of that freedom. So then we grew up like that. And then, of course, if you grow up like that, you know, you're essentially spoiled. So then you can't expect someone to understand your way of life, how you grew up, if they didn't grow up in the same circumstances or under similar circumstances than you. And then you want to shift the blame from Woodsie. No, you're not just spoiled. Did I spoil myself?
See
It
that
has to
thing,
have come from somewhere.
yeah.
And I think this may be an overgeneralization, but then I do feel like most of the youth.
It's like old people used to have that
experience
saying
that.
where like, the community raises the child, something like that. I'm just paraphrasing, like, I know how you say like community. So that thing, we lost that thing, and then now it looks like we're being spoiled. Because like if a kid walks around and start saying whatever they want to say, right or and you try to like reprimand that kid, it's like a whole thing, dog. What the hell is this? You're not even my dad. You don't play yeah, bro. So I guess like the NTOT, we are ungrateful and we abuse things. It's not necessarily our fault. It's our parents' fault that they could say we're abusing shit. But if the community then was killed, like the community raises the kid, I don't think they'd be saying stuff like that. Yeah, bro. I mean, I like the way things are now, but it could have still been. I could actually like bring that back if I could. I would. I'd actually bring that back like because if a kid misbehaves and the neighbor commands the kid and then the kid listens, if the kid is in trouble, the neighbor could still help the kid out. Because if I can tell you, nah, you're not allowed to be walking around and starting smoking cigarettes in front of your elders. A lot of people who are smoking, like addicted to cigarettes today, wouldn't be addicted to cigarettes if that in your community was still kept.
So we lost. Okay.
In a way, it's not really our parents that drive us to being spoiled, but more so the government itself.
How so?
Because it invokes different laws in a way that promotes everyone to be equal, whilst we're not equal, considering that our parents are our parents. That means they are above us, so we need to listen to them. But at the same time, the law itself brings them down to our level.
Causing
Are you
contradiction.
talking about the whole corporal punishment?
Yes.
Not necessarily just corporal punishment, just disciplining a child in a community.
Yeah, because I think the government can be looked at from different angles. You can say, okay, now they're just spoiling the kids because you can't beat them now. But at the same time, corporal punishment used to suppress things like
Freedom of speech and
yeah, and then things like freedom of expression, creativity, bruh. And then when that's out of the picture now, the kids can express themselves as creatively as possible, channel their energy differently without even feeling prohibited to do shit. And then that's how many entrepreneurs are born, bruh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
It's a fear thing.
Dikhumbula ngikhala ngidudanda olungehlule wafika isithunywa sangikhumbuza sengithule na wena loyo ngamazwi lawo ngibonga gogo ngawe wena loyo ngamazwi lawo ngibonga gogo ngawe.
It's a fear thing. Like, it's not a matter of we ungrateful. It's that they're afraid of our potential. As much as we are, as much as we are also afraid of our own potential. I mean, I go back to my angel thought, yo, that thing blows my mind. My greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. My greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Oh, that shit is it's literally up to you.
But then, do you know that the current youth is also capable of a whole lot of destruction?
Fact.
You know?
Fact.
As much as we do amazing things, you know, we
The
also do
healing
a
of
whole
life.
lot of horrible things, you know? And bad things are addictive, more addictive than good, you know?
Actually, habits are addictive. It's not a matter of bad things. If you have a habit, you get addicted to that habit. If you make money, that's a habit. Dude, you're gonna be addicted to that shit.
So we should give the kids new addictions.
Laugh, just give a kid new habit. I mean, I'm a sports guy, dog.
Hey.
I have it in one sense.
Yeah. Still on X's point, yeah. Do you think there is enough communication between Batswadi and Bana?
No.
I feel like it depends on the parent and the child.
There's a large barrier between that communication. There is a big barrier.
How so?
I mean, think about it. When you grow up and you get out of university, you learn to parent yourself, reparenting yourself, skills that, okay, of course you learn certain things when you're at home, but once you get to university, you teach yourself, okay, this is right, but then if I do it in this other way that I wasn't taught, I might have a better outcome. And if you try and portray that to your parents, it's going to be like, no, you can't do that, you know? Like you're going crazy, sort of.
That's why you can't communicate. It's like you're too close to these people to like tell them exactly what you're planning to do.
Exactly.
Hence, we actually link up with people, our own peers, because our peers understand more than our parents will ever understand. In fact, my parents' peers understand my parents more than I understand
your
my
parents.
So yeah.
So basically what you're saying is that we raise each other.
Basically.
Yeah.
So
there was a point where your parents raised you. I think until you were 7, your parents were raising you. From the age of 7 till today, you've been raising yourself, and your friends have been raising you, and society's been raising you, dog. The parents, yeah, they raise you, but
I mean, think about it. Once you
your
get out of
parents
the
didn't teach you how to
house,
smoke,
you have to be dependent on yourself, not your parents. It's you. It's what you do that gets you to go by, not what your parents tell you. I mean, like on a night when you know, okay, you had enough money to do certain things, but you use it for other things. You're not gonna go to your parents. They're gonna tell you like, okay, do this and do that. You're gonna think of ways to get it done yourself.
I can't wait.
When a professor was like, are you gonna sing a high note? To know that I love you, can't help
So what I've gathered from this is that there really is a barrier, a big barrier.
A big
But I
communication.
feel like it's okay.
How do we deal with it?
I feel like it's okay, man. You know why I say it's okay?
Why?
If there wasn't a barrier, that means we would depend on our parents for air.
Exactly. Because now they understand
Let's
you.
not get
You can't say that, bro, because let me say you raise your child in a way that they depend on themselves. Like, for example, if you have a boy, bro,
Yeah.
and then you want that boy to always be able to stand on his own, you will teach him never to depend on you for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But how?
yeah.
So
So
giving him everything he asks for.
now,
How?
if you want a thing, bro, you know what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
shit like that.
here's like something in the whole has been happening to me. Oh, with my dad especially. Like I'd ask my dad for money, he would ask me why. Like what? Why? What do you mean why?
My mom's does that.
Because my why will never make sense to you.
But I have to know I'm your father. I can't just give you money.
Stop, bro.
This is bro, but sometimes it's
not your money, first of all.
I can find it, dog. Let's say I'm asking my dad for like $200,
Hmm.
and he's like, why?
Yes,
I need
why?
it. How's about I need it?
For what?
Nah, if I tell you for what?
But bro, if you need it, why don't you go and get it and pay it to me?
Exactly,
Like,
dog.
No, why don't you
See
make
that
it
why?
for
See that
yourself?
why?
Why don't you make it for
Here's the
yourself?
thing about that why. That why kind of gets you away from asking for money from their damn money. Because you're gonna need money for shit that's not gonna make sense to them. It's gonna make sense only to you.
Okay.
I want $200 to buy a mic. You think my dad is gonna take me seriously if I told him I wanted to buy a mic?
Nah, he's not gonna take you seriously.
Like,
Yeah, but what do you do?
Are you gonna
I'm
sit
up
back?
for
Are you gonna
different
sit back and be like,
exactly.
No, you can't.
That's my
you
point.
can't? Then you go for it.
That's my point.
That's the point OG was making.
Yeah, bro.
What?
See that why actually makes you do your own, because that man doesn't understand what you're mic. So go around that nigga, get yourself a mic. Then show him. This is why I need the mic.
But in most cases, bro, like people do irresponsible things, like trying to get that mic, you know, things that could have been avoided if you had just explained to Timer, no, my Timer, I wanna buy a mic, and this is why I need that mic for this and that.
You know what my time was telling? Wanna just chill until one thing. Like I need a mic tomorrow, don't be like my thing. And I know like a couple of days ago was my thing.
But you have to learn to hustle for yourself.
Exactly. That's that why. That why makes you hustle for yourself.
Yeah.
And we have to look at something. Right? This communication barrier is one of the reasons why the rate of depression in the league is high in the country.
I blame the parents for that shit.
Do
I
you know-
legit do. You know what? You listen, Joe.
Nah,
listen.
bro.
These people raised me. These people raised me. And if them not giving you certain things, okay, there's like really unreasonable parents out there. There's like really unreasonable parents out there. Yeah, bro. So okay, sharp. Sometimes you can blame it on the parent based on you are unreasonable, but sometimes it's like, dog, you just being a bitch. Like get your shit.
What I think is, when it comes to the whole depression thing, is in as much as parents may play a role, but then
Yeah.
I think, I mean, the rates today are way higher than they were about 15 years ago. And why is that? More and more people have gotten connected to the internet. More and more people are joining and are on social media for hours per day. And at times we know that social media gives you unrealistic expectations of life, or it gives you a glimpse into a life that you may not,
Can I say
that may
something?
not necessarily be part of your reality. And then that tends to leave people feeling inadequate. And I mean that's just one part, and that's just barely scratching the surface. But then my main point is that social media and the internet and high volume cell phone usage is also playing a major role in the increased rates of depression.
True.
But don't you think it's the fact that our parents don't necessarily understand what depression is in the first place? Because going back to how our parents were raised, you know, in the struggle, they were like, we just have to survive, you know. So they had to deal with whatever on some.
Yeah,
I'm depressed, but I don't even know this is what depression is, you know. So I understand what you say about social media, yes, and it does play a role. But then even then, the internet has taught us, but there is a thing as I'm not feeling or I'm not okay, it's depression. Now you're trying to tell your dad and mom, but I'm not fine, and they don't understand because you can't be depressed. You have everything. You are spoiled.
Because they filter everything through that. I thought thing is human now. I was dodging bullies.
We live in a generation where our parents label a therapist as a white people's thing.
Yes.
And
So it's
also,
a cool.
and also where they label depression, anxiety as something that you can control. Like, it's all in your mind. It's just you're just thinking, overthinking it. You know, it doesn't. It shouldn't exist to them. It shouldn't be a thing that should exist to them. You know.
Yeah, like it's a personal thing, so I mean, I can't really say much on like depression.
You know, I think. You know, I think when it comes to, I think the issue with them is, in essence, what they're saying is true, because roughing it out and just doing the thing and ignoring it as they put it, is okay. It does work because we saw that it works for them, but then I think the issue is with the approach, because now there are people who find themselves in the pits of depression, but then they can overcome that by really. There's this guy called David Goggins. He calls it careless in your mind. By filtering out all the negativity and just focusing on what you need to do.
Yeah.
So I think. I think where they're coming from, it isn't problematic. It's just the approach and how forceful they are in driving their points home. Just get over it, or just be fine.
You just don't understand what they mean.
Yeah, because they have an entirely different perspective of what depression is and how to deal with it. So if we could just get to the core of it, and just filter out all the negativity and all the bad things that come from what they say when they're trying to help us with those type of situations, is looking at the core of what they're saying.
So,
because
since we started talking, what I've gathered is that the biggest problem is the communication barrier. What do we do about that? Solutions?
I feel like we showed them, dog. I feel like we showed them. I'm gonna not. Who bought you this mic? Who bought you guys this mic?
Sorry, what now?
The mic, dog. The whole equipment. Who got this shit for you?
You did, boy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, boy. And then you pull up at home like, you might got this shit for myself.
Okay.
Like, they know, okay, Shab, this guy's actually serious with this shit. Because, I know a whole lot of parents out there who are not down for, like, this music thing as, like, a serious career for them. What happens if you don't get signed or something? You're trying to get some for the rest of your life. Well, they don't get this shit. But then you pull out with, like, a whole track, proper track. You make that shit all by yourself. Kana buko ikinya mo fly. You don't put it on this side. Alright. That's suicide, man.
So,
do you guys think they have a lot more freedom than they did? Obviously, because they grew up during apartheid and stuff like that. But you know, do you guys feel that we are more free?
Yeah.
Somebody said come open. OB.
I don't feel like we are free because we are still in our minds. We are still enslaved by what they put in front of us growing up. Yeah. If you know that, okay, now to turn off a bulb, to turn on a bulb, you have to go to a mountain. You will always look for a mountain, right? Even where there's no mountain. You understand?
No,
so
elaborate.
We can say mentally you're not free.
Yeah, mentally, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get across. Mentally, you're not free. If I teach you this thing is this thing, you will know it as that thing for the rest of your life, especially if you learned it as a child. And then now, a lot of the youth, I saw this from my Kasi, a lot of the youth are stuck in their Kasis because that's all they've come to know. They are trapped in even in their own mind.
Yeah, so are you saying we have different sides of freedom? Like,
Yeah, actually,
No, but
the boss told me about like different types of rights, not freedom. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
different types of freedoms. But at the end of the day, freedom is supposed to make you happy.
But then there is such a thing as
But mentally we're all affected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as
That
too
one
much
we need to
freedom.
put it out.
Yeah.
We're all affected
That's
mentally.
true.
And letting Leo is the reason why we flop in life, I understand. It's because mentally we caged. You understand? And kwezinye izinto we don't want to admit that we're toxic. You understand? There are a lot of things that our youth is doing out there, Joe. A lot. If it's not as big in a jail, bye-bye, abafethu abashiyela ngaphakathi, there are a lot. You understand? And if you can check the age yakhona bancinci, they're all bancane.
Yeah.
Because they want free education in a jail.
That's the thing. Again, we want easy things in life.
But it's free education.
Now, we can't always get things in the silver platter, Joe.
Lad, you gotta grind for this shit though.
Yeah.
But guys, imagine
Like
so.
same as that part where you'd ask something from your dad, you understand, and he says why or no. You need to think about that, like in your own space. Don't think in terms of like how he spoke to you or what he said to you. Now, just think in your own space. When personally, what would you do? Cause back then he didn't have that kind of opportunity where you could just go home and ask for that kind of shit. You check. So those kind of things, they help you grow. Although we take them in a different angle, but they actually help us grow. You understand?
kodwa ngazi unamanga ngoba nami ngibuye ngimhluphe nje hayi ufuna ungiphambanisa nemvula hayi nje yonke imali yamasingcwabisane hayi ingane ziyama amaphapha hayi
Like, cause okay, when like sometimes like when they say why, and then okay, I remember like when I was like coming up, yeah, like grade 8, 9, 10, yeah, I was like, yo, Dad, I want a car. He was like, you wanna get something cool. I'm like, what about my trick dance? And I'm into the age, I'm thinking about my trick dance. Now, since okay, past all this time. And I came back again, I was like, yo, Timer, I need a car. He sat down, like, I sat down and like, come up with the whole story, your whole manual. That's how I was gonna get that car, bro. Yeah, bro. I gave him that story and that's how I'm all in, bro.
Dang.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So, certain things, okay, at certain times, they just don't make no sense. Asking for a laptop. Like, I tell him, can I have a laptop? He was like, you're in school. Why? I'm like, dude, I'm in school, that's why. But then when I got to varsity, it made more sense for me to get a laptop. And like, you know, I'm like, yeah, if I had a laptop back in like, in high school, I was like puberty, dog. Sindo. Yeah. Yeah.
We live in a generation where you have to be dead. You have to be dead. You don't take shit.
The genes shouldn't make sense to anyone but yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if the genes don't scare you, then your genes bigger now. That's why I was in my car. I'm gonna get my cheetah was a car. And like I see pictures like that shit will fucking hold you down, bro. It's heavy. Like you can't spend, like I can't spend more than a week at gas without losing my mind. I lose my mind, though. I mean, I can smoke like every day, doing nothing but smoking. As you go, guys. That's why I don't like being there so much.
So, why do you guys think what's happening in Kasi is happening now?
Because they have no opportunity. They have opportunities, but I'm gonna like SK Lenny. Fuck you. Sports saved my life. Like it legit did, yo. I would have turned out to be like something else. You probably wouldn't have known me if I hadn't like, decided to like, you know, pick up a stick or start running or run for start. So like some schools, most schools in Tlhagisa Segasi don't really take sports seriously. Not even their parents take sports seriously. It's like, this guy's wasting time, this guy should be reading books. And it's only good to like, the niggas reading books in here, there's always noise or the guy There's a need. Put inverted commas on there so that the mic knows.
The mic knows.
So, I mean, you know, you go into school and you don't see what you actually doing, because like school doesn't always cater for all your needs. Like books, they don't cater for everybody's needs. So you need something else to do. So when you get home, if you need, your aunt is watching like Boma, Real Housewives of some place.
Keeping up with them.
Don't what's the fuck? So what you gonna do? I'm gonna go out like hang out with my friends. And what we gonna do when we're hanging out? I'm like what, 15 now? What are we gonna do?
The problem is that there's not much to do.
Really true. There's not much to do. Like if we can change that, get in like some youth activities like culture, sports, music, anything.
So question for the youth.
Let me say something on this point.
Okay.
It's not that there's not much to do.
It's easy.
There's not much that anyone, most people want to do. There's not much that most people want to do. Because someone said earlier that our minds are too money centric. We want
money.
big things, microwave life. That's the shit that's happening, bro, in the Cassies.
Can I also say something about this? Thing is, people in the locations tend to be way too comfortable because it's what repetition. You used to doing the same thing over and over, and you get trapped inside doing that. And there's so much more to do, Kokas.
It's a habit.
There's a lot.
And I'm gonna tell you about my guys.
I also feel like there's a lot to do.
There's a lot.
Like what?
There's a lot.
Let's say, let me talk about me, Joe. I'm into sports and people. If you kill a mother asking my check, when I got there, they had like a rugby team where like the coach like blew their money like every fucking time, like transport money, he blew it. He blew it, bro. Yeah, but I remember he was like,
it's not an individual thing, it's not a classy thing.
It is, Joe. It really is, Joe. I'm gonna tell you guys, my flatmate last year, and he used to play Australian football. They got into trials and they had to go to like Cape Town or something like that. They didn't go because these guys would go to like places like Buma. They would leave the province, Buma Gauteng, Buma Eastern Cape, etc. But when it came for like big games like nationals, they could like call up a player who didn't even play a single game that season. They could call up players from like other districts in fact. Like we have the team in this district, they get here now, and then they get players from other districts. Come back surprised. You know. So it's corruption, it's a whole lot of shit. Emanakasi means okay, maybe there is a lot to do, but then there is no structure.
There is no structure.
Okay. And talk about what happened last year though in my Kasi. People they wanted jobs. Yeah, like you know the story. People they wanted jobs, right? And then a solution was presented. This was it. Okay, bruh. You guys want jobs. Cool. There's no jobs for you guys because none of you are skilled. But for your skill, we're gonna give you free education. How? Free education. Training in the mines, dog. For if you want to do drilling, they train you there. Electrical engineering, they train you. Even ESCOM now. Like ESCOM uses people they train there. Not university students. Not a lot of people are university students. They are trained there. They wanted to do the same shit, bro. You know what they said? They were like, nah, fuck that shit. We want jobs.
Goes back to what we were talking about, microwave money. You know, quick money.
They want quick shit, bro.
Because on the flip side, they also did the same thing in my hood. The college in the area offered free classes, you know, for basic things. You know, some of the things wouldn't have been enough to get a job fairly, but it was a start. So for example, if I give you a free computer literacy course and all you have to do is show up, like you're already a step ahead than someone who didn't go. Or if I offer you a free welding class, a free 2-week welding class, you're better off than someone who didn't go to that class. And it did benefit some people, because for them it was sort of like the base for them to do whatever they wanted to do.
It's that first step, bro. And first step is like super hard. I'm
like people.
I'm trying to get to step 8. I know what I'm gonna do at step like maybe 4.
Yeah.
But
at step 1, I don't know what to do with that one. That's
like people. I don't know if it's a fear or it's just they don't like it or they don't want to like.
It's
people are
fear,
afraid
bro.
of investing in themselves.
It's fear.
It's a fear.
It's fear. You can put it like that.
Yeah, because like they've been caged in this fear, but now.
So, with us too, the current youth, we have a lot of fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
we're not visionless. We just have a lot of vision.
Just
the fear of stepping into that vision.
Taking that first step. Somebody wants to start.
Okay, so question on that. Are we lazy? No. Because so many people don't take that first step. So many people. So I'm sure everybody here has met so many people that say they want to become millionaires, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, or from primary school to university to stuff. So what do you think about that? I'm lazy.
The thing is, people.
And again, think about our academics, and we say we artists. Okay, mostly, There are people that say they struggle their academics, and then they say nah, they're artists. But then still with the art, they're not giving it the A1. So are we lazy?
Fear, dog. No, it's not being lazy. Okay, yeah, it's not being lazy.
It's fear.
It's fear. Not that all of us are like
some like laziness.
We fear.
Yeah,
It could be the fear of rejection. They fearless. That's all. And those ones are those that are able to put in the work. Understand? Are those ones that believe that once I place this here, this is what's gonna come out of it. You understand? Those are ones that don't have fear. That's all. Then there are those that have fear. Those are the ones we can say are lazy. You understand?
Right.
That part where you doubt yourself. You understand? That part where you feel like, nah, I'll do it tomorrow.
Can I say something about fear actually? Like it takes me to that laziness thing. See, fear is actually okay. It's perfectly normal. You can't be afraid.
It's part of life.
It's part of life. And then when you have fear, people who actually triumph over fear are brave. That's what we call people brave. You don't want to be fearless. You want to be brave. Because if you're going to be fearless, you're going to walk into a cage and later unprepared. And you're going to fucking die. That's fearlessness. They will kill you. It's stupid. Be brave, Joe.
But don't just be
Walk into that lion's cage
exactly,
with a
but
gun.
now you cannot just be brave.
Yeah, you need to be.
Now if you're brave, you have a plan. You walk into that cage with the gun, you walk in there with a spear or something. You're ready to fight, dog. That's brave. So if you're gonna be afraid, there's people like they're afraid to a point where that man is just debilitated by their fear. That man is just gonna sit down and say, I hope shit comes together.
You know which guy that is? There's this dude by his race. He chills there by the electrical thing. He sits there and asks for money. You know what he used to do with this guy, Brad? I don't know what he does now.
Yeah.
He used to just chill there, wait for people to come to him, Brad. And then, if you're too far, the safest place to be from that guy is across the street.
I walked in with a packet of oranges. That's why that nigga looking at me, yo. Look, I'm about to open my eyes and just must start thinking. I crossed the street, man. I walked into my place from the other side. He didn't even shake, though. Man, doesn't even miss a beat.
Tell this guy, if he went out, right, to ask people for money, for whatever, go to them, he would make more money than he's doing. He's just chilling and what he's doing.
Even though it's a lousy way.
That's a lazy guy, right?
Nah, we could say that, nah, yeah, you'd say that. But you don't know the reason for him to be there. You don't know if maybe he once tried to ask from people. You don't know how rejection can reflect to some other people.
It could even go as deep as coming from the parents.
Like he might be feeling so
Yeah, he could
so
start.
small as if he doesn't exist in Shabin. You understand? And now he's just there, hoping people would feel
that's a dark place to be.
Some type of way about him and help. You understand? So the thing is, you don't know someone's background, so it's better not to judge.
It's that depression thing.
Just to put a hand on a help.
It's that depression thing.
Yeah.
But then, like, how long are you gonna be asking for help, bro? Let's say I'm gonna you're as young as me.
Can I ask you?
What?
If I come to you and ask you to help me with something, and then he Ubafo comes to you and asks for us for something good
from me.
Yeah, understand? Yeah. And then we am guy, and then like all of us we come to you and ask for something. Then I come back again to you. Would you still help me?
It depends, though.
Nah, it can't depend.
It should, though.
It can't depend.
It can, though.
I also feel like it
Listen,
depends.
nah,
It depends,
you know,
bro.
let me speak on my side, man. I won't say karma, but I know in some way if you fuck with me, like there is some shit that's gonna happen to you.
Like disrespect, like fuck with you.
Exactly,
like that.
I understand that. If I help you, then you bullshit me, I'm still gonna help you.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So that's you.
That's the thing. That's how people need to be in life.
I mean, they too. Like, I see that it's okay. It's cool to be like that. Life, because the world needs more people like you. Abo. The thing is, Joe. Here comes somebody. Which needs the money. Like, dude, I need like $200 for transport, for example. Okay, let me give you $20 for transport. And then I see you tomorrow, asking somebody else for cash.
Fine.
And then you come back and you all ask for me.
And then that's where I'm gonna speak to you. And instead of giving you cash, let me give you something else.
Yeah.
Mindset.
Give him mindset. There's a guy I paid to more healthy, wears glasses.
Not fuck.
Oh my god. The guy's like, he's like basically clean. He speaks English. The guy is, you can tell.
I know
this guy can walk in and ask for a job too, and I mean, you can speak English. You consider giving the guy a job. Yeah, but the guy, I remember I was with Oz. Yeah, but I stopped the guy. The guy was asking us for cash, and I was like, dude, you're always asking for cash, and you look clean. You don't look like these other guys here. You look clean, basically. Why don't you just go to the build or somewhere and ask for a job or something like that? You know, because there's people like sweeping the streets, Joe. You know, you have this thing. I have pride, Joe. I can't see myself walking around asking for like booty 200 over and over. Like my pride doesn't allow me to do shit like that. Yeah, well. So this guy's pride does allow him to do things like. So me sweeping the streets is not going to be a big deal for him. Yeah, well. So I stopped the guy. I was like, dude, like, it's not like you're incapable though. Why aren't you doing something? Like, nah, I'm gonna try that shit. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna give you like money right now, man. But next time you see me, just walk by though. Can wave at me, but walk by though. Yeah, but the guy came again and you asked me for cash. I'm like, dude.
I legit like, how old do you think he was? How old?
That guy, he looks for my late 20s.
20 something.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, he's a young guy, Joe.
But now, why don't you question yourself on that Shandy's game?
Okay, what did I do? Like, question myself with?
On that part, like, you spoke to him, and but yet he still came back and asked for something from you. He doesn't only meet you a day.
Yeah, he meets a whole lot of people.
He asked from a lot of people, maybe about 20, 50. We don't know. Then the following day, still, it's a lot of people. That communication, I'm over you. You understand? And whatever you spoke about.
I mean, this guy's not serious.
It's not that he's not serious. We don't know why he's doing that. You understand? So still, if he comes to you and asks for that cash, speak to him, dog.
Oh, I did. I didn't do it. I was like, dude, we talked about this yesterday.
Okay.
And he's like, but then you're not asking me how I'm doing. I'm like, how are you doing? Me, I need like a couple of parts.
Boy, I ain't got cash for now. you're done, you're out. You don't have to.
I carried it. I didn't. I'm not one of those people who will be like, fuck you, dog. I dealt with you yesterday. Now I'm not one of those. I'm sure. But I was like, Joe, not this again. What's up, dog? Good luck, bro. I was like, dude, if you want to ask for money, don't ask me again. That was me actually. Yeah. You can't do your thing, but when you see me, nah, bitch. Because these people, no money, there's a tendency like you follow you, Joe. I'm not a violent way, no. I'm not going to violate my babies. This guy's been following me.
Never mind.
Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I know a whole lot of my peers that are reckless. So are we reckless, guys? Compared to
It is.
Yeah.
there are
levels to this recklessness.
Okay, but ultimately recklessness is a bad thing. So why are we reckless?
Don't you think we just take more risks, and it's not necessarily being reckless. We are just able to take more risks.
I know like reckless people. Like,
but then you say there are levels to reckless.
I feel like it depends, Joe, on the situation. But Joe, these people going out and challenging the cops with guns, I was reckless, Joe. But it changed the world.
It changed South Africa.
So, look in the US, Joe, these people are standing up against the cops who've been like happy killing people. It's reckless for them to go out pulling out their cameras. Walking around in groups, no mask. It's reckless, but it's necessary. Something, okay, there's like unnecessary recklessness, but then some things like you gotta do them.
They have to be done.
They have to be done. Like somebody's gotta break some eggs to make an omelet though.
Slow we go on, that's how it's supposed to be. Living young and wild and free. Bro.
Are we too experimental, guys? Are we too experimental?
I mean, it goes back to how you
experimental,
Bruh, we're the generation of Nyaupe, we're the generation of lean, we're the generation of... What are we doing these days?
Of can of milk.
Can of milk today. We're their generation. So...
You can also be
Can I ask you something? Because it's freedom. We have everything in front of us. What we to do? Let's try everything out.
Exactly.
But then it's killing us, bro. Yeah. People are dying in the streets.
What's gonna happen in the future? Because the current generation is like this. In the future, they're gonna be more.
It's gonna be worse.
Even they're gonna be used to it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna want to abuse it because it's something they're used to. They're gonna be people who think freely, who can tell you no. The reason why I don't wanna go through grade 8 through to grade 12 is this. They show you this thing. It blows your mind out. Do that shit.
But listen,
when are we gonna be the parents?
It's too risky. Was like, dude, why are you doing it? Can look at kids right now.
Alex, listen to this.
Like I'm a pun shit.
But you can also be experimental in a good way. I mean, like, think about that. It goes back to how we say that once you get to varsity or some stage of your life, you learn to reparent yourself. You can either do it in a good way or a bad way. And fortunately for most of us in this generation, it's in a good way. I mean, we've got young billionaires out there.
No cap.
Think about that. Think about that. We've got people who are like our age, and you look at them and you're like, so you did that because they had to be risk takers and they had to like, you know, rewind and rewire everything.
You step
out their cage. You step out their cage of normal. There's this guy by Jordan Peterson. That guy blew my mind last year. So Jordan Peterson was like basically breaking down the Bible, and he that like the first lines of the Bible, like in the beginning the world was chaos and you know, it was formless. When he was like creation basically is in your hands. And first that, like not going to school, Joe. Not like dropping out of school. That's chaos, Joe. You know, it's dark, it's crazy. Like don't do it. Yeah, but once you do that shit and you make it work, you basically created a world. On first time. That was basically what this guy was talking about. And he talked about my yin and yangs and shit.
Big shout out to him.
Yeah, like it's deep, Joe, because if I was gonna start this, like we're gonna have a seminar. Y'all gonna have to like sit there and I'm gonna have to break it down to you. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. That man. Yeah, you must like if you into like check out like Jordan Peterson on YouTube there.
Okay,
so you need to create. And in order to create, you need to break boundaries. Construction, when we want to build a place, we're going to have to like demolish some things, you know, destroy the ground. It's going to be like, you come into like fertile land and you're going to use that shit.
Basically, everything bad that's happening, it's us demolishing the place.
Well, basically, well, if you make it work, that means you actually successfully constructed something. But in order to construct something, you need to like clean up. Like that clean up is destruction. Yeah, for start. That's the key.
And basically, you think you need to clean up things that people have been living off of for years and years.
This guy's like before he's like before you even go out into the world, you need to like clean up your place, make your bed in the morning.
It's either you clean up
small things.
It's either you clean up or you become part of the pile that's been there. But I'll clean out also. There's a besides us, there are lots of generations coming this way. If you think that it's not gonna work out for you, they coming and they'll just put you to the side and move on. One ton. Way too young.
Okay, so the future's beautiful.
Future's beautiful.
Of course it is, man.
And it's in your hands.
It's in your hands.
It's in your hands.
Just like that.
Feature emoji work for you. Feature emoji work for you. Feature emoji work.
Tina. See
Is there something else you wanna know?
What do you want me to know?